and I only have 45 minutes to do this. I have to be back on the plane in like an hour and a half. It's okay. You can leave that in as well. It's all part of it. So this is the Skoda Vision 7S, and I've come here to Portimao for literally an hour and a half to film this car because it's probably one of the most important design movements that Skoda has made in a number of years. And I say Skoda or Skoda, depending on how you pronounce it. The little fada, as we call it in Ireland, has now gone off the S of Skoda, and the bird has been moved on to more documentation rather than on the car. So there is massive changes, and what you're looking at right now is the new front of all the Skodas that you're going to see coming out over the next few years. This one you won't even see on the road until 2026. Skoda's new design line, which is clean lines, that's what they're after. Really clean and easy to use surfaces that are wiped clean and washed clean, even the recycled tires for the floor. Not sure if that steering wheel is going to make it in, but certainly the child safety seats facing backwards is supposed to be the safest place in the car, along with so many other little inventive features that only Skoda bring to the market, and that's an important factor for them. This is the new face of Skoda going forward to 2026. This is the most important face that Skoda's ever put on in the last few years, because you can see it's completely changed how it looks. And even with the grille here towards the bottom, which is a functional grille on an electric car, this is coolant for the battery and also coolant for more air that goes into the cabin. But this is all functional on the front, and they've hidden absolutely everything into the front here. It has a camera, it has a long range radar, it has absolutely everything built into the front, but they're keeping it all behind instead of being able to see it on the front. And that's an important little factor for Skoda. So down the side here you got two doors, but this is a 7-seat car. This is a big door, I'll open that in a second, but also you've got this functional step here that you can actually step on, and when it's fully functional, this is a concept car, there will actually be a plug here that you can use to plug in for external power as well. So you can run a campsite off it, or a projector, or electric bike, or whatever you want to do. To open the doors, you press the top of the button and the door actually opens on its own. So it springs out very gently. And this back door opens suicide style. And so you have complete opening on the outside of the car. And we're going to have a look on the inside in a second as well, because this is a very important seating layout that is done in here with the child seat in the center, which they say is the safest spot in the center. But the materials used here too is very important. This is recycled tires at the floor. This bit on the door here, all the interior inside has been completely made from recycled materials. But there's more bits and pieces on the dashboard I want to show you in a couple of seconds. So this is the interior of these Skodas. Now, I'm kind of stuck the way I'm looking right now, but everything is movable here. Vertical screen that goes horizontal when you go into park mode, or if you're charging and getting bored, so you can do that too, okay? And I'm going to demonstrate, watch, everything moves in here, even the dashboard. You ready to go? Look at that. It's like theater mode. Just sit back, relax, watch your thing. Pedals go away, the car just becomes a place to chill out in. The two foot pedals disappear, so now I can actually kind of lie down in here, and that seat the screen here becomes horizontal, so the whole car can see it, and you can play YouTube videos or films or Netflix, or you can have a Teams meeting is on it as well, and everything just goes away. And this can be used while you're charging, so this is just something to do while you're sitting there doing nothing else. And when you're ready to drive off again, just press down the button again. The car gets ready to go again. It's not like the coolest thing you've ever seen in the car. I think that's brilliant the way they've made the whole dashboard move back like that. Also, I just want to show you something else as well on the air conditioning front, which I think is in here. It is. So on the dashboard here, you can see it's all hidden away, and I'm going to show you the two air vents on demand. So you press those little air vents pop out, which are made by Dyson, and the Dyson fans come on and cool the car rapidly while you're sitting on it. And they'll go away when the car achieves the temperature you seek, or you can press the button and make them go away again. Super cool. Let's have a look at the second row though, just behind me here. So in this row, this is guided towards the parents. You see the child seat sits in the middle, which Skoda say is the safest position for a child seat to be in a car. Parents can sit back here, or siblings can sit back here too. And you can mind the child, look after the child, feed the child, do all the stuff. But you can also be handed the child from outside and put them straight in while you're sitting in out of the rain. And it's definitely not raining today, it's very warm in here. And there's another row of seats back here again. And the great part about these cars is the boot is big enough for all of your needs, as well as having full 7 seats, which is why the car looks a bit longer than it is in real life. Skoda designers really have remained faithful to exactly what we saw in the concept sketches. Right now they're releasing this car. Now it's not quite finished, but this is as close as we're going to get to an actual working model. Although it's drivable for a very short distance at the moment, there's some work to be done in suspension and braking that hasn't been finished just yet. So I'm not going to get to drive it today, but you can see the future of what cars can actually do, particularly when you take into account having to stop to charge the cars. Manufacturers are starting to figure out how to get the car's entertainment factor up while you sit and do nothing effectively. In terms of other cars coming, this is the vision for the whole group. There is more cars to fit into this and more electrification to go just yet. And we're going to see launches, probably not next year, but the year after that. And then from there on outwards, Skoda will be starting to go fully electric. You're all asking about the bird logo that's on the front of the Skodas. Well, that is not going away, but it won't be featuring on the front of the vehicles from this point onwards, more or less. It's going to start disappearing onto the branding efforts, but not onto the cars. So as you can see, this is a very important car for Skoda, the future of Skoda and what's going to happen next over the next few years. We're actually going to launch a new car next year and the year after that, which will be slightly smaller and bigger versions of this car until 2026. When this car comes out. So the whole design language is going to change. The cars you're driving right now from Skoda will remain the same and remain on sale, but these ones are going to start replacing it as it is. This has an 88 kilowatt hour battery, 89 kilowatt hour battery, claimed range of 600 plus, which is where they want to be, and it can charge at 200 kilowatt hours, which is very, very quickly. Now, can ESP actually keep up with that? I don't think so, but we'll see how that turns out in the end. Listen, if you're interested in these kind of concept things, please hit the subscribe button, but thank you very much for watching this far. And I hope you have definitely hit that subscribe button and subscribe for everything else that I do as well on Instagram and Snapchat and YouTube and TikTok and wherever else you find this stuff. So more information on those kind of platforms, but thank you very much for watching. And until the next time, I'll see you on the far side of 2026. Just thought I'd show you a few concept images that have come out and it actually shows the car before it was ever designed and made. And realistically, they've made what you see on the page here. Yes, it looks a little different, and when it's actually finished, it'll look a little different again. But realistically, it's pretty close to design. Now, the reason behind that is because of battery technology. Realistically, when you've got a chassis and you've got a battery embedded into that chassis and it all connects up to a body, you can technically put any body you really want onto the top of that. Also found this little diagram here showing you what happens in the boot when you want to have the maximum boot space or you want to have the 7 seats up. You still end up with a proper boot space in it. I think it's a fantastic design. Now, possibly it's not going to get made looking like this, but realistically, this is just the tip of an iceberg of what Skoda is going to do over the next few years. And I, for one, am quite excited to see where they're going to go with all of this. Anyway, look out yourselves, and I'll see you on the far side.